of a sentence may be a clause. Maybe a clause. What is the type of this clause? It is called that clause. It is called that clause. This is what? This is the form of the clause. What is the function? The function is what? Is noun phrase. You see? It is a noun phrase, or the form also is a noun phrase. It is a clause and noun phrase. That clause, noun phrase. That clause, noun phrase. This is what? This is the form. What is the function? So the form is what? That clause. And also it is what? Noun phrase. Okay? What is the function? The function, it is what? Subject. Subject, and the please is a verb and him is direct object. Right? This is what? The noun phrase. So now you know what is the verb phrase and what is the noun phrase. The verb phrase sometimes made of the verb alone and sometimes made of two units, auxiliary and verb. We call these what? Noun phrase. What about the the verb phrase, sorry. What about the noun phrase? The noun phrase also sometimes is made of a pronoun or sometimes made of a proper noun, which is John and so on, proper noun, and sometimes made of what? Of a clause. So the subject, the noun phrase can be one word, noun or a pronoun, and can be what? More than one word. We call it clause. The new gas stove in the kitchen, which I bought last month, has a very efficient oven. Right? The new gas stove in the kitchen, which I bought last month. Look well at the verb phrase. The verb phrase can be made of one word, two words, three words. Okay? Three. No more. But the noun phrase made of all this, you see, all these elements, all these items, all these categories, you see, of all these what? Elements. This is what? So what do we call this? All this, we call it what? A noun phrase. Where is the verb? Where is the verb? This is the verb phrase. A very what? Efficient. A very efficient oven is what? A direct object. Clear? Good. Now come to this to see what is this noun phrase made of. What is it made of? It is made of the new gas stove. There is what? Article. Which article? It is definite article. A new is what? Adjective. Gas stove. Gas stove. Gas also here works as adjective. It is a noun, but works as adjective because it describes the stove. Stove here is what? Is a noun. In the kitchen. In is what? Preposition. There is what? Article. Which article? Definite article. Kitchen, noun. Clear? Which? Relative. Relative article or relative pronoun. I, subject. Bought, verb. Last month. Last month. adverb of time. Clear? How many elements here? More than 3, 5, you see? 3, 4, 5 elements. All of them work as what? As noun phrase. As what? As a clause. All this works as what? As a subject for this sentence, or in this sentence. Okay? Is this sentence finite or non-finite? Or if you call it as a clause, is it, first it is nominal clause. You are going to see what is the nominal and what is the verb clause. It is nominal because it is started with a noun. Okay? The new gas stove in the kitchen, which I bought last month. Okay? The new gas stove in the kitchen, which I bought last month, has a very efficient oven. What is the type of the clause here? What is the type of the clause? Finite or non-finite? Now we talk about these only. We do not talk about verbless and not something like this, because it is beyond what you have studied, larger than what you have studied. Okay, it is what? It is what? Finite or non-finite? It is finite because there is what? Which I bought. Look well, which I bought. It is finite because there is a tense, mood, and aspect. Look well at these elements through which you may decide the noun phrase. There is article, there is adjective. Where? Before the noun. Okay? There is what? A prepositional phrase or relative clause. Where? After the noun. This is the noun. Okay, and this is a noun. Relative clause on something else. After the noun. Before the noun, article and adjective. You see? These are the ways through which you may decide what is the type of the noun phrase. Subject complements. We have what? Subject complements, direct objects, object complements. Okay? Look at this sentence. Before this, look at these sentences. He was the chairman. He is the subject. Was is the verb. The chairman. Who is the chairman? He himself. Then it is what? Subject complement. She saw the chairman. She is what? Subject. So, verb. The chairman, direct object. They made him the chairman. They, subject. Made, verb. Him, direct object. The chairman, object complement, because it is related to the direct object. She made him happy. She, subject. Made, verb. Him, direct object. Who is happy? He is happy. Then it is what? Object complement. Very much happier. It is the same, just like this adjective, and also it is what? Object complement, but it is what? An expansion. It is expanded clause. Phrase, sorry. It is expanded phrase. Adjectival phrase. Unlike the, now we come to the direct object and indirect object. We said that you may also decide the direct object and indirect object that when they come together, the indirect object comes before what? Before the direct object. Also, the unlike direct objects and subjects, they cannot be released by that clauses. What are these? They are what? Indirect objects. Okay? Indirect objects are not like the direct objects, because the direct objects can be released by what? By that clause, the direct object. The indirect object, sorry, the direct object, the direct object and the subject can be released by that clause, but the indirect object is unlike, you see, unlike direct objects and subjects. They cannot be released by that clauses. They تعود علما على indirect objects. Indirect objects cannot be released by that clauses, but the direct object and the subject can be released by that clause. Good. Now the adverbal phrase. So how many phrases now we have? We have, for example, verb phrase, or let us write it in this way: verb phrase. We have noun phrase. We have adjectival phrase. Okay. We have adverbial phrase. Okay. These are the different phrases. Good. The adverbial phrase can be released by, you may find the adverbial phrase as one adverb, or noun phrase as a form, but as a function it is what? Adverbial. Adverbial, not adverb, because the adverb is one unit. The adverbial, when the noun phrase works or functions as adverbial clause, or sometimes you find it as a prepositional phrase. Good. Now I'm going to explain to you in these examples how you find, or what are the different types of adverbial phrase. John very carefully searched the room. John very carefully searched the room. John is subject. Very carefully, it is adverbial. You see? Adverbial clause, adverbial phrase. Searched is what? Verb. The room is what? Direct object. Now our job here is what? Is the adverbial. Where is the adverbial? Carefully. Carefully is one adverb as a head. You see? Carefully. They made him the chairman every year. And by the way, carefully is adverb of a process. You see? They made him the chairman every year. They is subject. Make not made. Make is verb. Him is direct object. The chairman is object complement. Okay? And every year is what? Adverb of time. Okay? What is the type of every year here? It is a noun phrase. Noun phrase. But it worked as what? As an adverbial. Listen well. There is what we call a form, and there is what we call content or function. For every word in grammar, for every word there is a form and there is a function. The form is this in these two parts. As you know that year is a noun, okay? Year is a noun. Every year is what? A noun phrase. A noun phrase. So as a form it is what? As a form it is what? It is a noun phrase. But as a content it is what? Adverbial phrase. It is adverbial phrase. Clear? This is a second type of adverbials. She studied at a large university. She is a subject. Studied is a verb. At a large university, all is what? Is, as a form it is what? Prepositional phrase. Good. Prepositional phrase. Why? Because it is made of a preposition plus a noun. Not only preposition as and a noun. Preposition and adjective and a noun. And all this is called what? A prepositional phrase. You see? This is as a form. Prepositional phrase as a form. As a function, it is what? Adverbial phrase. Adverbial phrase. Clear? He grew happier when he finished and when his friend arrived. When his friend arrived. Seeing the large crowd, John stopped his car. This is other sentence. He grew happier when his friend arrived. He is a subject. Grow is a verb. Happier is what? Subject complement. Because who is happier? He. When his friend arrived, all is what? Adverbial. All is adverbial phrase. It is made of what? Of the when, which is adverb of time. His friend, subject. Arrived, verb. All this is called what? It is called what? It is a relative clause or adverbial clause. It is not a relative, it is adverbial. You see, adverbial clause. Okay? Right. Let us come to the last sentence in this lecture. Seeing the large crowd, John stopped his car. John stopped his car. How many clauses in this sentence? Two clauses. This is number one. And this is number two. Where is the main clause and where is the secondary clause? This is secondary and this is the main. Seeing the large crowd. If you remember that this sentence started with what? With a verb. Good. Which type of, you remember the verb phrase? You remember the verb phrase? We said that the verb phrase is divided into finite and non-finite. And we said that there are three types of non-finite. You remember, which has two, ing, ed. Two infinitive, ing participle, and ed participle. What is this? What is this? Good. It is ing participle. ing participle. Seen the large crowd. The large is what? The large crowd. There is article, definite article. Large is adjective. Crowd, all. The crowd is what? A noun. And the large crowd, all is what? Noun phrase. Noun phrase made of article and adjective and noun. All this is called what? A noun phrase. And this is what? Non-finite verb phrase. So it is what? It is called non-finite clause. Non-finite clause. What is this? Is it a form or function? It is a form. Function, what is function? It is adverbial. It is adverbial phrase, right? And John stopped his car. John is what? Is a subject. Stopped is a verb, and his car is what? Is what? Is a direct object. Is a direct object. This direct object made of what? The reflexive pronoun and the noun car. This is the end of the lecture today. I hope that you understood what I talked about. Thank you very much and see you in the coming lecture.